Welcome back to the channel where we talk all things Longmont and surrounding areas. And this morning we are talking about Frederick, Firestone, Dacono, and what happened in the real estate market in August. And I think you'll want to stick around this month because we did see a slowdown. So a lot of things have changed over the month of August. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's jump into this. We are going to look at some of the homes that sold first. Format here is I'm going to show you the most expensive home, the least expensive home, and then we'll get into some stats. So for those of you that just like the stats, you can find those in the little markers. It will tell you where the stats start. We're going to start with Frederick and the most expensive house that sold. So we are looking at close date, the 21st of August, sold for $974,000, and this one was in Angel View Estates. And I looked inside this house, such a beautiful home. They had it listed at $989. So let me show you the home a little bit here. So it was a ranch. You can see they've done some nice updating in there, fresh paint. It was a really lovely home, and it had a nice basement as well. So ranch with a finished basement. And Angel View is one of our neighborhoods in Frederick that offers a little space in terms of your lot, and then also has these more expensive custom homes in it. So it doesn't surprise me that it is topping out as our most expensive home. This one took 30 days to go under contract. No surprises there either. Right now in Angel View, there are quite a few homes that have been on the market for a while and just sitting. So this one went under contract pretty quickly. And then let's take a look at the least expensive that sold. And it sold for $410,000. It was a townhouse. This is here on the east side of Frederick, close to downtown Frederick, 1,468 square feet, $410,000. You can see these are just basic builder grade townhomes. I know exactly where these are too. And these were selling for they had it listed $437,000. These were selling for that price when they first started selling them towards the end of last year, beginning of this year. So you can see right now $410,000 for a townhouse, a brand new townhouse in Frederick. So that gives you an idea of the most expensive and least expensive on Frederick. Now we will take a look at Firestone. So we had 22 houses sell in August in Firestone. I can tell you that things really slowed down, and we'll look at those in the stats, but things started sitting for much longer in this Firestone area. So the most expensive house, let's take a look. It was $900,000 up in Barefoot Lakes, 4,200 square feet. And let's look at what made this one so special as to why it sold for $900,000. And it's because it is on water, which is very hard to find here in the area, let alone in Colorado, to be living on some kind of water. So these lakes at Barefoot Lakes can be used for paddling. You wouldn't want to swim in them, but you can stand up paddleboard. This house would also have beautiful mountain views. It was covered on the day they did the photos, but the mountain views would be back here. So mountain views and water. And then it's quite a large, modern, updated home. Beautiful deck out there overlooking the water. And that's what got us the $900,000 price tag. It sat on the market for 53 days before it went under contract. And Barefoot Lakes is one of the much newer neighborhoods and big. It's just growing out east. It is North Firestone. Great neighborhood, but you can see a little pricier than some of the other neighborhoods around the area. And then let's go to the least expensive house in Firestone. And it was a townhouse on Berwick Avenue. So this is in old kind of Firestone area. It sold for $444, 1,900 square feet total, just about 1,400 square feet finished. This one went quick. It only spent 4 days in the MLS. They had it priced very well to sell quickly. So these are quite spacious townhomes, and the fact that they have basements is very nice. So those newer townhomes in Frederick do not have basements. So there's no kind of room to expand if you need it. But as you can see, these ones here do. So that was your least expensive home in Firestone. And we are going to go look at a middle range. I know I didn't do that for Frederick. Let's see. So we had 900, 444. Let's look at like 570. So this is in St. Vrain Ranch. It listed at 550, sold for 570, 7 days. So they priced this one well as well. This house, I know it well. It needs some work. It needs some updating, some different flooring and things, and it still went for a pretty decent price. And I think that is probably due to its size being nearly 4,000 square feet. So that covers the ins and outs of the homes in Firestone, and we will look at the stats here soon. But first, we're going to take a look at the Dacono sales for the month of August. Okay, so as you can see here, the list of what sold in August in Dacono is quite small. It is a smaller area. So we had 15 sales. The most expensive was over $1 million at 1.178. And we'll take a look. It was in Eagle Meadows. There is only two neighborhoods in Dacono that garner these kind of prices. And it's because they are large properties, and then people have built sheds and ADU units and those kinds of things on the property. So as you can see, this is a ranch. Nothing too spectacular in terms of the home. Beautiful big basement that is finished with a bar. So that's nice. And I'm just gonna, there we go. So you can see that the lot is a little larger than most around here. And it looks like they have a big detached garage on this side, which could be a workshop and storage. So they have their boat, things in there. People look for these kinds of properties in this area and will pay money for them to have that space and to be able to have those additional sheds and things on the property. So that was our most expensive in Dacono, and then let's go look at the least expensive. 808 Gabriel Court. It sold for $220,000. It was on the market for 3 days. And you can see this one is a stunner. You can definitely see what was going on here. Looks like it's probably a manufactured home, not well cared for. Sold for $220,000 in 3 days. So somebody snapped that up real quick, even though it is not the prettiest of homes. 2 bedroom, 2 bath. So that was our cheapest in Dacono. And then let's go back to like a mid price here of $515,000. This one was in Sweetgrass, which is right off 25, Interstate 25, so makes it a good location. Sold for $515,000. Was on the market for 96 days, this one. Originally listed at $545,000. Ranch style home. Just your basic kind of builder grade home there in Sweetgrass. Nothing too special about it. And that one was our $515,000, so kind of in that mid-range. So that covers looking at these houses at what sold. And now we're going to go and take a look at some stats. So if you're a stat person, you're in luck because that's what we're going to do right now. All right, on with the stats. And we are starting once again with Frederick. And we are going to look at the average days on market. And my graph here has August, I skipped ahead, August 2022 through to September 2023, but we are going to start with the month of August and days in the MLS. So the average days in the MLS was 41. That was up month over month by 11 days. And year over year, it was up by about 22 days. So you can see, like I said in the beginning, we've had that little shift in the market. And when you look year over year, it doubled the days that a house sits on the market on average from when it goes on the MLS to when it sells. So we have definitely felt a slowdown in the area, and I have felt it myself. It has happened, and I guess we'll see in September whether that picks up or not. It's really hard to say right now. I'm seeing a little bit of movement with buyers, but not a whole lot more. So we'll see how that affects the numbers. We sometimes do see a pickup when school goes back in September, October, and then it will slow down again through the holidays. So we'll see if that is the trend this year. Let's look at the average price for Frederick. Okay, so our average close price, August 2023, $528,021. That is August 2023. And if we go back to August 2022, it was a little higher at $558,553. So you can see we have had a little change there in our average close prices as well. And really, guys, it depends. Like right now, we have a lot of new builds that don't have basements, so they're overall cheaper. And we have a lot of townhouses being sold. So that will affect that close price. If we go month over month, July was $532,621, and then August was $528,021. So that comes to that slowing down again and buyers having a little more power to be able to negotiate. Let's look at months of inventory, and I'll kind of explain what that means. I have explained it in my past videos, but it really does give us a good idea of what's happening in the market. Okay, so our months of inventory for August was 3, and that is up year over year, definitely. What that means is it would take 3 months for every property on the market today to sell. So it would take 3 months for us to sell out of our current inventory of homes. So I remember in 2021 and 2020, that this was below 1. Like our market was so crazy that this was below 1. Now we're at 3, so that's quite a big change. July was actually 5, which I did this video, so I probably came across it, but I didn't realize. So we dropped a little. And then last month in August, a month of inventory was 4. So we are down a little from that as well. So it's really interesting. We have tight inventory, but our homes are sitting on the market for longer. And it's due to the interest rates. It is due to these high interest rates and buyers not wanting to jump in and certainly not jumping in as quickly. So we still have, this is still a seller's market, even though it's taking longer. Usually that months of inventory needs to get to about 6 before that market flips to a buyer's market. But it does feel more like a buyer's market out there right now because concessions are being given, houses are sitting longer, buyers are negotiating hard, and buyers are taking their sweet time to decide. So even though statistically it isn't, it kind of feels a little bit like it. Let's go look at those numbers for Firestone now. So Firestone is probably where I have felt this kind of biggest shift feel of things sitting on the market for longer. So let's see. We are at 32 days. August, things sat on the market for 32 days on average. I feel like September may pull that out a little more because you have the homes that didn't sell in August still sitting on the market. And I've noticed that has happened. So we have 32 days. In July, it was only 15. So days on market, average days on market doubled from the previous month. And then almost doubled from the previous year too, which was only 17 days on market in August 2022, and then 32 in August 23. And we'll skip ahead to the average sale price. And for Firestone, the average price for August 2023 was $592,827. It was up from previous months. July was $531,901. And then if we go all the way over here to August 2022, it was $557,961. So it is up year over year, unlike Frederick, and also up month over month. And you can see that we had the highest average price, even though we had some of the longest days sitting on market for the whole year. You can see from that graph. So price-wise, we're doing okay. And of course, one or two big sales can kind of pull that number off the tracks. And then next month it can settle back down again. So we'll see what happens. But that's what it averaged out at, 592,827 for August. And then we'll take a look at those months of inventory. Okay, so months of inventory for Firestone, August 2023 was 3 months. So it would have taken 3 months to sell every home that was on the market. And that was 2 months. So it was up by a month year over year. And it was about the same as July. So that gives you an idea what has been going on in the Firestone market. And then we will check Dacono and then wrap this video up. All right, so we have our Dacono stats up here for the average days on the market. So let's start with last month, August 2023. The average days on market was 63 in Dacono. Oh, Dacono had the biggest slowdown. I didn't sell anything in Dacono in August, so I didn't quite feel it as hard as Firestone or Frederick. July 2023, it was 31 days, and then it jumped to 63, so it doubled, and it was already kind of getting up there in July. But when we go to August of last year, it was 163 days on average. And I think there was one or two properties, which can happen when you're only like selling 13 in a certain town, that really affected this number. I feel like it was probably one of those 1 million plus properties that sat and affected that number. So I'm just going to rule that out. And because when we go to September of 2022, it was 20 days. Something definitely messed with that average. But last month is the most important, and it was 63 days on market. So we'll see what happens in September with that days on market. Now let's look at the average price point. Okay, so our average sale price in August 2023 in Dacono was $553,251, and that was a good jump, almost by $100,000 from the average in July, which was $479,077. And as you can see, for this year, it is one of the highest averaging months. If we go to August of last year, it was $619,900. And I do think, looking at that, it was probably $1 million property that sat and then sold and played with both of those averages. But if we're just looking at August, it was $553,251. And then let's go to the months of inventory. And we had 3, just like Frederick and Firestone. So it would have taken 3 months for all properties in August if no new properties came on the market to sell. In August of last year, that was 8. Yeah, something definitely messed with these because as you can see, it kind of stayed 4 being the most. July 2023 was 4, and then we dipped down in August to 3. So I hope you found that information helpful, especially if you are looking to move to the area or you are looking to buy a home in the area. If you have any questions about Frederick, Firestone, Dacono, the real estate market, or just the area in general, I am more than happy to help. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You'll find my info down below if you need anything. Please call out. I am here to help, and I hope you have a fabulous September. See ya.